Hi guys, I'm Sarah and I'm here with Cocoa Runners today, and I'm going to show you how to temper chocolate. I'm using the 63% cooking chocolate. I am going to show you how to do the tempering in the microwave, and it's a technique known as seeding. So what I've done is I've measured my chocolate into a heat-proof bowl, and I've got 2/3 of it remaining in this bowl, and I've pulled out 1/3 of it and set it aside. Now we're going to start with blasting it on high power for 30 seconds. So let's have a look. Not much will have happened. There's a little bit melted. We stir it well to distribute the heat and make sure not one part is heated more than the others. In we go again for another 30 seconds. But the beauty of using this method is that it's so straightforward. Once it's melted, you just tip in the other chocolate and you start stirring. By the time you've melted it all, you've got tempered chocolate. This is feeling warmer now, so we're stirring it. You can see a lot more's happened in this last 30 seconds. And it doesn't sound like dry buttons, so I reckon we're going to go in for another 15-20 seconds and see what happens. I don't think 30 seconds is going to be necessary. Now obviously the more chocolate you have, the longer it will take, but you've just got to keep an eye on it, and you don't go in for any longer than 30 seconds. That's 15 seconds. Let's see what's happened. Now you can see it's melted, but there's still, is there a lump in there? No, the lump's gone, but it's warm. There's some heat in there. I would be tempted, if your bowl feels really hot, to put it into another bowl, because you want to cool the chocolate down. You don't want the bowl to keep on heating the chocolates, and this will just help reducing your temperatures. So it's time to go in with your chocolate that's not melted. So you're starting the seeding process. And now you stir. And what this does is it drops the temperature of the chocolate that's melted to meet the temperature of the chocolate that's currently melting. Keep on stirring. See you in a couple of minutes. The crystalline structures that you've left in the unmelted chocolate will start to remind the chocolate that you've melted how to behave, basically. You can see it's starting to melt, but you've still got to keep on stirring. As the chocolate starts to cool, you'll notice that it gets a little less fluid and just slightly thicker. That's what you want. Now, if you're getting technical, if you were to put your thermometer in there, you'd want it to be, by the time that all of the chocolate disappears, you'd want the chocolate to be within 31 to 32 degrees. And that's the perfect range for tempered chocolate. And that's the temperature at which you want to use it as well. So once it's tempered and all melted, you go for it. It's an exercise in mindfulness as well. And there we have our tempered chocolate. So now our chocolate's ready to use. We can fill our molds, but you could easily spread it thinly with a palette knife, run a palette knife over a piece of baking parchment, spread it, and it will cool really quickly. And you can break it into shards and it will have a nice snap and shine on it. And you can decorate cakes, you can decorate anything really. You could just eat them if you wanted to. Now, I'm going to try and split these evenly. Now with tempered chocolate, you want to work within its temperature range, which means you kind of need to work quite fast. So you want to be prepared. And then I'm going to gently tap it, spread it, and try and get rid of any air bubbles. And then you have to leave it. You can kind of tip them slightly to spread the chocolate around. And you can see all the air bubbles coming out now. Okay, now I've got some cacao nibs that are from the same estate as the chocolate, so they'll go really nicely, and I'm going to sprinkle a couple onto my chocolate bars. You can also put salt on. I'm going to put salt on, so a little bit of salt. Now I'm going to set these aside and leave them to cool at room temperature. Overnight will be best. There we go.